Hello, South Florida. I'm Michelle Morris.
I'm Juliana Estrepo. Today is Monday, April 11th, 2022.
From the South Florida Media Network's Biscayne-based studios in North Miami, this is SFMN Newsbreak.
Today, the White House plans to focus on gun control after a violent weekend across the U.S. President Biden has a wish list of reforms for Congress.
As CNN's Amy Cayley reports, a top priority appears to be cracking down on the so-called ghost guns.
President Joe Biden is expected to propose new gun regulations today. 3 sources with knowledge of the situation say he's focused on regulating so-called ghost guns. People can put them together at home from kits, so they're hard to trace or regulate. Classifying some of their parts as firearms would change that. The effort comes as gun crimes have been rising in the U.S. with more shootings over the weekend.
My heart goes out to all of those impacted by last night's shooting.
This is another mindless and senseless gun-related incident.
A police source told CNN a ghost gun was recovered after Friday's fatal shooting of a 16-year-old girl in New York.
The bad people who want to get guns for bad purposes realize this is the easiest way to get a gun. It's even easier than going on a street corner and paying someone some money for a gun.
Also, as soon as today, Biden is expected to name his pick to lead the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. An official says the nominee is former U.S. Attorney Steve Dettelbach. Biden says he also wants Congress to mandate background checks for all gun sales, ban assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, allow gun makers to be found liable if their products are used in a crime, and fund crime prevention and policing. But Senate Republicans have a history of blocking gun control efforts. I'm Amy Cayley reporting.
The NFL is mourning the unexpected loss of 24-year-old quarterback Dwayne Haskins after being hit by a truck in South Florida. Authorities say the Steelers quarterback was walking on the westbound lanes of the 595 interstate. Haskins was recently re-signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers last month. The team shared their condolences about the tragic accident.
Repairs this morning after manhole explosion caused panic as WCB's Thalia Peruz reports it was yesterday at Times Square in New York City.
This EarthCam video shows the moment people began scrambling out of the area. The chaos unfolded just before 7 p.m.
What is it?
Con Ed says a power cable failure led to an explosion and fire in a manhole. As firefighters worked to put out the fire, dark gray smoke came from that manhole and 2 others filling the air.
Once I seen the fire, the cops started telling me to back up. I slowly started backing up, but still, I started, I started proceeding, to the fire, and then it actually exploded right in front of me, and that's when I started running.
Maravik Jack says she is visiting from California and was running late to catch her tour bus when she heard the boom.
We just missed it. We missed the bus, and it's just like 5 minutes of walking, and that's when the big, loud. I'm still kind of nervous and shaking.
Firefighters evacuated people in the area as a precaution. Officials say there were elevated carbon monoxide levels at an office building at 229 West 43rd Street.
That was reporter Thalia Perez from WCB's. Firefighters assisted power company crews in ventilizing underground parts of neighborhood buildings. As of the last night, there was no reported power outages.
The first ever all-private space mission arrived at the International Space Station on Saturday. The group of 4 from Houston-based startup company Axiom Space were aboard SpaceX Dragon spacecraft. The crew consists of 3 entrepreneurs and a former NASA astronaut serving as their guide. Axiom Space says the day trip will consist of meaningful research.
Miami Beach celebrates the end of Pride Week this past weekend, throwing a parade. On Sunday, Miami Beach ended Pride Week celebration and was back to having its annual Pride Parade after not being able to since 2019. The Pride Parade included many participants, colorful, lively floats, and thousands of spectators. Led by drag queen, this parade is in celebration of the LGBT community.
The modern season just started, and already their defense is the talk of Major League Baseball.
That's still ahead, and so is the story.
And then when we finally get the nod of who we're playing, we'll dial into the details of our specific opponent.
This morning, the regular season officially is over for the Miami Heat. The first place team in the Eastern Conference now looks forward to the playoffs. Newsbreak will be right back in 2 minutes.
Type 2 diabetes can have a big impact on your life. But how can it be prevented? Well, the first step is knowing if you have something called prediabetes. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org.
If a natural disaster shows up at your doorstep, you can't just turn it away. That's why it's important to prepare for emergencies before they show up. Go to ready.gov/plan to find the tools and tips you need. And make a plan today.
You really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Season finale, your Miami Heat playing last night, and the regular season in Orlando. The Heat faced off against the Magic last night in the final game of the regular season.
They had already secured the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference and were resting most of their players. But Victor Oladipo stepped up for the Heat and dropped 40 points. But the Magic ended up winning the game. The final score of 125-111. Now the Heat wait to learn who they'll play in the first round.
Hampton with the shot clock tick.
Ramp it up, middle of the week, and we'll just make sure we're working on our habits, our rhythm. And then when we finally get the nod of who we're playing, we'll dial into the details of our specific opponent.
Ask for 40, but we'll take 30.
Even though the Miami Marlins lost in San Francisco yesterday afternoon, there were a couple defensive plays that were amazing. The first one was Rob single by the basement Jazz Chisholm. The second one was a Rob home run by Jose Soler.
That's all the news we have for today. And for Newsbreak, I'm Juliana Restrepo.
And I'm Michelle Morris. Get more news anytime at sfmn.fiu.edu.